It's a couple of days since you and GamerLegion booked a ticket to the Rio Major. Has it started to sink in?
I think that is it's definitely synced in now for all of us. We went into the qualifier just like our expectation was to just like do it as best as we could, and then like if you do all you can, then like you can be satisfied with your performance, I guess.
Yeah, you said it yourself. When you started playing for GamerLegion 2 months ago, at that point, could you imagine qualifying for the Rio Major in such a small amount of time?
No, like we played the RMR qualifiers. We played them with probably half a day of practice. And we ended up qualifying on the last qualifier. I think the fourth qualifier we ended up qualifying for the RMR. And then after we qualified, we just had like we had a 2-week bootcamp in Berlin, and then we just practiced full on from that time, and just wanted to do our best at the RMR.
Can you try to put some words on the last week in Malta, with being there with a new team and doing such an impressive performance? How was that?
I mean, the new team is really it's really nice to be in the team. Like the team chemistry is really nice. Everyone is trusting each other, and everyone is working. There haven't been any like negative things in the team at all. So the team in general is really nice, and we've all been working really hard for it, and I guess it paid off in the RMR.
Your own performance at RMR was impressive. You personally had a stellar performance. Did you expect such a good level from yourself?
It's really hard to say, because when you look back at my stats for like my games compared to the others, it's basically all the good teams I had really good performances in, and for some reason I just feel like I'm against the good teams. I'm reading them a lot easier than like the worst ranked teams. And for some reason, like it's easier for me to read the team. So, like stacking sides and stuff is for some reason easier. I don't understand, but it feels like I'm just reading them really good, and then like calling our teammates around and stacking bomb sites and stuff. So it's working out really great for me. And I don't think I expected it to work that great, like coming into the RMR. But I would say I definitely had like. Individually, I was definitely on point before I came to the RMR, so I was still expecting some good games.
Yeah, you said yourself that it was against G2 and FaZe, two of the best teams in the world, arguably with the best lineups. Did you expect that you could play such a good game against them as a team, but also personally?
I mean, it was teams that like we just went into the game with, and just we talked over it with the team like really shortly, and we just wanted to like go into the game and like just show how good we are. That's, I mean, if we win, we win. If we lose, we lose, and then we'll take the hit and then go over mistakes and learn from the game.
For you personally, how was it to be back on the server? Not just here at the RMR, but also before that.
It feels really nice. Like being benched just puts everything in a different perspective, and you think like you have to think about like what happened, like how did it all go so wrong, and yeah, you definitely get a different perspective, and it's really nice to be back on the server. Like I've been on the bench for like 8 months, I think. So coming back on the server is really nice again, and I really enjoyed it.
Do you see this as your comeback to top tier or higher tier CS:GO?
I definitely see it as my stepping stone, or like my comeback, because I think my time in MOUZ was it wasn't really how I would see myself as a player on the MOUZ lineup. So I definitely see myself coming back to like a top team at some point again in the future.
How will you assure that you stay consistent and keep presenting these kind of numbers?
I feel like in Malta, I built up like a routine or like a schedule for myself where like every morning I did the same all the time. Even though we had late games, I would try to do the same, but just do it later. Or like I just had a certain schedule that I'm gonna try to keep up for like the next tournaments as well, and see how it works out. Because if you can keep like a certain schedule or like a schedule and a routine, I think you'll be a lot more consistent in the end. Yeah, I would say like having a lot of confidence is actually something that like really like it boosts my own like it boosts my confidence to have confidence, I guess. But I think everything like even in team wise, if my caller and my teammates is like if they really believe me, like if I can feel like they believe in me and like they are hyping me up or like everything is great in the team, then like I get a bit more confidence, and then I might go for more peaks, or like I might have a better game because everything is just like great overall. So I would say confidence is like a big part of Counter-Strike as well.
Yeah, because you are 25 years old now. Can you feel a change in how you see and play the game?
It's I don't know. It's hard to say because early on in my early team days, I would say I was a rifler, so my role was like really different compared to what it is now. So I might be one of the older guys. I might actually be the oldest kind of team besides our coach, but I still like I feel like I bring a lot to the team. I feel like I bring so much overview like in the mid rounds and like I try to take a lot of initiative as much as possible without like overcalling our in-game leader and just balancing out. So I think it's really great.
You have touched a bit on it yourself, but can you try to talk a bit about the mental aspect of yours having been on the sideline for so long and now being back on the server again?
Yeah, I mean, I got benched on MOUZ in December 21. Or like at least I haven't played a tournament since December 21. So this has been my first tournament, the Arma. And being out for so long, like I think the first month or two, I was like I didn't touch CS because I mean it was player break anyways, but I still even after player break, I don't think I touched CS like a couple of weeks after player break. So I did take like quite a long break in my opinion, the longest one I've taken yet at least. So I came back with like a fresh mind and a fresh mentality, like I just want to get back to like tier 1. And if I had to take a step down to take like 2 steps up again, then that's how it's going to be. Of course, it could be nice if I just went directly on like a pretty good team again. But yeah, I had a few team offers and ended up with the GamerLegion. Yeah.
What would you say you have done to come back and present the best version of yourself again?
I mean, I started streaming early March, I think, and I've just been grinding FPL and FPL phase at deathmatch. Just grinding individually to like get back to a level that I feel comfortable with, or like at least, I feel like that's like something that I can be like proud of at least. So, yeah, just grinding.
You spoke about your time in MOUZ, and it didn't end up being so successful for you. What would you say was the biggest factor in that?
I think it's like a mix of everything on the MOUZ lineup. Like, Dexter came in fresh from the Australian scene, and I don't think he was that accustomed to like the way that we play in Europe and stuff. And like it took some time for him to get like accustomed to it, or like at least figure out how stuff works in the EU. But I still think it was like my best time in MOUZ was actually early on. So I can't really complain about it. But it was definitely like our team for some reason. Like I think we were thinking too much about ourselves. Like not as a team, but like we were, instead of thinking of ourselves as like one entity. We were like 5 entities, like 5 players, 5 individual players, just trying to win a game, not like one team or like one entity trying to win a game together. And I think that's kind of what ended up like breaking the team in the end.
Because we've seen you play very good in Mad Lions before MOUZ, and now here in GamerLegion, presenting that you can compete against the very best. But for you personally, what didn't work in MOUZ?
I think personally, like I ended up losing a lot of confidence after like player break wise around summer. And like the team just didn't feel the same for some reason. Everything just felt like it just felt wrong, and like I had doubts if I had doubts about myself if I wanted to like keep going, or if I had thoughts about benching myself because like everything was just not working out. But at the same time, I just felt like I felt like I had to play because like I signed a 2-year contract. Like I don't want to. Like I said, I felt like I owed something to MOUZ, right? Because I signed a 2-year contract, and so I wanted to continue and see what happened. But yeah, it didn't work out in the end.
You said that you maybe were to bench yourself because you received a lot of criticism from fans, experts, and the community. Do you think much of that was valid and fair?
Yeah, to some extent. Like until like receiving threats and death threats to me and my whole family and everything, like a lot of people that I know, like getting bombarded with death threats. Is something I don't think is fair, to be honest. I don't think anyone thinks that, but I mean, having like criticism is like that's fine with me. I can take criticism. So up until like that point, I think it's fair. Yeah.
So you didn't feel that much of the blame was put on you as the author, saying that just replace acoR and then all problems are solved. Did you feel that in any way, or was it? Do you think it was valid in much sense?
Yeah, I did feel like it. Like a lot of it was like if I kept reading on HLTV and all the forums and stuff, and like then I would kind of get the feeling that it was my fault, all of it, or a lot of it, in my opinion. So I kept in like in the end, like I just stopped reading a lot of it, and yeah, because it would get into my head, and I've never really been a player that like takes a lot of notice of all this like online criticism and stuff, but in the end, like it got to me. So I stopped reading like all of the online stuff for a while.
Was that also something that made you consider quitting CS:GO, as you said earlier?
I don't know if I would quit CS:GO. I just like, yeah, I don't think I would quit CS:GO. I would just like maybe take a break and come back and see. Like if it went really bad, I would probably take a break. Like I ended up doing after getting benched. So yeah.
This player break has that helped you in this sense of the mental aspect and seeing this outside noise from fans and forums and all that? Has that helped?
It's helped a lot. I think actually, like from my stream as well. I've been streaming a lot, and people are like I want to show that like even though like I'm getting I'm getting old and stuff. I'm only 25, but like I can still play CS at a top level, and I want to show people that because I know I can, and people just got to see it. I hope I showed it at the RMR and will continue to show it in the future.
I want to move back to the roster, GamerLegion roster, because I want to. How did it come together in the process and finding the different players? Can you open up a bit about that?
The whole process was like it was a bit long because I first got approached by GamerLegion pretty early. I would say like even before Antwerp Major. But at the same time, I wanted to wait after the major to actually take a decision because I know a lot of teams are like swapping out players after the major. So I did wait. I did make them wait out for me a bit. So yeah. After the Antwerp major, I did get another offer as well that didn't work out like I got an offer from Complexity, and it didn't work out. So they they wanted me to practice with them, but I was practicing with GamerLegion at the same time, so I didn't have time to actually practice with them.
You didn't consider going with the Complexity lineup?
I did. Like I wanted to practice with them and see how it was, but like they basically just gave me the cold shoulder after I said I wanted to like finish the last day of practice with GamerLegion to see how it works. So they never really answered me back. So it's whatever. I don't think they made the major. So
fair point. What is the plan for you, but also this roster, and what is the ceiling of this squad?
I think the skill ceiling on this roster is like really, really high. And the bottom, like the low skill ceiling, I don't remember what you call it, like bottom skill ceiling, whatever you call it, is still quite low as well. But I think like with experience and with like the more we play big tournaments and good teams with crowd and stuff, the more we will get, but like the better we will be, and like the more consistent we will be. And yeah, we'll just continue growing individually and as a team.
Do you see this as a long-term project, or do you mention a stepping stone? Could this be a stepping stone, or are you committed to GamerLegion?
I am committed. Like I am committed to GamerLegion. But I would I cannot say that I won't take up on an offer that comes in the future. I don't think anyone can. I mean, it all depends on what offer is going to come our way, and it wouldn't surprise me if siuhy, like Camille, our in-game leader, is also getting like offers left and right. So, or even Mihai EM. So yeah, I think our team is like one of those teams that like the good teams will like pick individual players and then like set their teams on from that. So it's hard to say what's going to go on in the future.
Now you mentioned siuhy yourself. How is he as a leader? Because he's extremely young, but he has proved himself in MOUZ NXT and now bringing this GamerLegion roster to the major. How would you describe him, both as a leader and a player?
I would say individually, he's really, really strong individually as an in-game leader. Normally, you don't see in-game leaders being like really good, like aim-wise and like individually. But I would say he's actually one of the best I've played with. Tactically wise, he's also really, really good. Like compared to his age, I would say he's like a few years ahead of his time. So, in general, overall, I think he's gonna be like one of the best in-game leaders coming up in the next year or so, I would say.
Did he has a say when GamerLegion founded this roster?
Probably after. I think I'm not sure how it ended up, if he was talking to GamerLegion before me or the other way around. But I was at least when GamerLegion approached me, I was like, yeah, like it sounds like a good offer, and I want to try it out. But one important thing for me is also the team chemistry, because I wanted to try to build something up from the ground that's like gonna be really good and something like you want to be a part of, not just going to be colleagues maybe, and actually be like. I was like, and when I played on Madlands, we were like all were really good friends, even outside of the server, and I think that helped a lot for like taking hard like conversations with the team and everyone, like you get to know each other like a lot better. I think that way you kind of get to the next level in the team compared to just being like colleagues on, I would say, MOUZ, I guess.
How important is that for a CSGO team, in your opinion? Because we have seen these superstar rosters not making it through to bigger tournaments or winning the title because they are superstar rosters, but these underdogs teams with maybe a good chemistry or have been playing for a long time, where do you see that?
I mean, it's really hard to say, because I feel like the really good like superstar teams, they will like pick different players. Like they will pick the best players from all like the like tier 2 teams, and they will just make like the best team out of it. And then not every time they will like try to focus on the chemistry, and it might not work out as good as they actually wanted it to. compared to someone like, let's say, we can just take my GamerLegion, for example. Like, something that I demanded, or like not demanded, but like something that I really wanted was like good chemistry in the team. And we ended up finding the players for like we have really good chemistry and everything is working out. Everything like it's so nice to play on the team, and I think that's something that also like makes it easier for us to like keep working and grinding together, and just in general being a team. Yeah, so everything is really nice.
Was that something you and MOUZ lacked in chemistry, and not being just colleagues, but maybe friends outside of the server as well?
Yeah, I would say so. Even though you could probably still call us friends, but like it was still like really like basic. Like it just felt like colleagues. Like we met up on the server, practice was done, we will leave TeamSpeak. That's it. Like there was no conversation after games or anything. It was just play the game, leave. That's it. That was kind of there wasn't really anything like going on. Yeah, I would say it's quite really basic like friendship, if you could say that.
I want to talk a bit about your expectation to Rio now, because you have qualified, not as a legend team, unfortunately, but in the challenger stage. How are you looking forward to this the tournament, the main stage?
I mean, the brackets or like the setup is going to be the exact same that we just played, and having like coming into the major with like the exact same setup we just played is going to be, I think it's going to be an advantage for us again. I still think teams doesn't have that much material on us anti-strat wise, so I still think we can surprise a lot of people on a lot of the maps. And we have some maps that is looking pretty scary on the stats at least. So having beat up like G2 and played really, really good against FaZe, that we probably should have won the game as well. Teams like Spirit, I think like we're gonna come into the major with a lot of confidence, and like we're not gonna look back. We're just gonna go tunnel vision and go straight to the legend stage for the players.
So GamerLegion is not a one tournament wonder.
I hope not. Like we are not aiming for it at least.